Hi, welcome to your practice today. Thank you so much for being with me and taking this time for your practice. A few things before we start. As always, I'll post a link to a Spotify playlist in the notes for the video, so you can click on that when we start moving if you want to follow along with music. And if you want to and you feel like you can donate to keep these classes going before we can all get back in the studio together, I would very much appreciate it. There is information in the notes for the video also about doing that. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy today's practice. So find a seat for yourself. Settling in, hands falling to the knees, letting your eyes gently float closed. And bringing your attention right away to the rise and fall of the breath. Noticing the movements in the rib cage, in the belly, the expansion with your breath in, the softening with your breath out. And noticing how the breath has this wave-like quality. So the breath comes in and releases out again without stopping, and one cycle just follows the next, like the waves of the ocean. And while you breathe, I'm going to read a quote from Lao Tzu, who said, "Water is the softest thing, yet it can penetrate mountains and earth. This shows clearly the principle of softness overcoming hardness." So for our practice today, we're going to find that water-like quality in our breath, in our bodies. Finding that softness, letting that softness penetrate the hardness, the places of holding, the places of tension physically or mentally. But letting the power of the breath, letting the power of the flow of the movement, that watery quality, start to soften the hard places, the hard spaces within you. Hands connecting in a prayer in front of your heart. And taking a deep breath in for Om. Hands can release down to the knees. And starting to take some gentle circles with the body. Chest reaching forward, side, back, and around. Following the flow of your breath. And then you can switch directions, letting these circles be soft, but letting them be as big or as small as you need right now. Your next inhale can bring you back through center, long spine, long breath, gently opening the eyes. Feet stepping onto the floor, hands coming down behind you, big breath in. With an exhale, planting down, hips floating to the sky. for an altar pose. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling, hips to the earth and crawling out onto hands and knees. Index fingers facing forward. Joints at the base of the index fingers grounding into the mat. With a breath in, head and tail floating, belly softening. Exhale, navel drawing up, chin melting toward the chest. Inhaling, heart rising, cow pose. Exhale, belly scooping, cat pose. Again, like this, front of the body opening. Big breath in. Exhaling, rounding the spine. And taking some movement on your own here. So maybe it's some cats and cows. Maybe there starts to be some circling through the spine. Exploring the movement, exploring the fluidity. And bringing yourself back to neutral, head forward, tail back. It's a downward facing dog with an exhale, hips floating to the sky. Taking a moment to tread through the heels here, opening up the back of the body in this first downward facing dog. Nice long breath in. And with a breath out, finding stillness. Index fingers rooting down, pubic bone moving up, pelvis stretching high. With a breath in, it's like a big wave rolling out to a plank pose. Planting into the palms, downward facing dog, belly lifts, hips float. Inhale, rolling out, shoulders over the wrists. Exhaling, back of the ribs rising, downward facing dog. One more time, rolling it out long, big breath in. And it's a child's pose, softening back to the heels, exhaling. Breathing in. Breathing out. Eyes looking forward, slithering out onto the belly, and right away pressing into those palms for a baby cobra. Heart floating, shoulders down the back. Exhaling through hands and knees. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog with an exhale. Hips really square, sending the right foot up and back. Taking a look back at those right toes, making sure that they're pointing down toward the earth. Big breath in. With an exhale, you can open that hip, bending the right knee. Heel melting down toward the bum. With an inhale, lengthening the legs, squaring the hips. Knee to the nose, foot steps softly forward between the hands. Coming up onto the fingertips, finding an opening through the heart, breathing in. Hands walking to the left, turning the toes to face the side of your mat. Fingertips rooting down, heart lengthening, breathing in. Palms to the earth, letting the upper body release. Prasarita Padottanasana. Straddle forward fold. With an exhale, knees softening, hips releasing toward the earth. It's a slow roll up, all the way up to stand. Arms rising for a prayer. Breathing in. Hands connecting at the heart. Breathing out. Warrior two, right toes turning out. Right knee bending over the toes. Arms reaching out wide. Finding the softness in the hips, the heaviness in the pelvis. Palms flipping, peaceful warrior, right arm rises. Hands circling down to the floor, downward facing dog. Exhaling. Plank pose, again like a big wave, rolling out long. Knees finding the earth, pointing the toes, elbows bending as you lower slowly to the mat. Palms pressing down, heart shining forward. Baby cobra. Downward facing dog. Exhaling. Keeping the hips really square, left foot reaches back and up. Again, take a look at those left toes, making sure they're spiraling down to face the mat. Breathing in. And with an exhale, opening that hip. Left knee pointing to the sky. See if the left shoulder can spiral down toward the earth. Inhaling, left leg lengthened, squaring the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, stepping softly between the hands. Fingertips pressing down, spine lengthening. Inhaling. Hands walking to the right, turning your toes to face the side of the mat. Again, coming up onto those fingertips, big breath in. Letting yourself melt forward, heavy head, heavy hands. This time, give yourself a little sway from side to side. So you can bend one knee, bend the other knee. Letting the fingertips gently sweep the earth if they reach. The next time your left knee bends, bend it a lot. Maybe turning the heel forward, sinking the hips down toward the heel. Right toes flexing toward the sky. Bringing it back up through center. Inhaling and letting the right knee bend as the left toes point up toward the sky. Back through center, all 10 toes facing the side of the mat. Exhaling, softening the knees, rolling all the way up to stand. Feet rooting down, arms floating to the sky. Hands through the heart, breathing out. Warrior 2, left toes turning out, left knee bends, arms reaching wide. As the pelvis gets heavy, belly draws up and away. Flipping the palms, left arm rises, peaceful warrior. Hands to the earth, back foot steps forward, coming to a soft forward fold. A little bit of space between the feet, a little bit of softness in the knees. Finding the opposite elbows, give a gentle sway from side to side. And with a breath out, hands releasing toward the earth. Inhaling. On an exhale, both knees can bend a little bit more, rounding all the way up to stand. Heavy head, heavy fingers. Spine lifts, arms lift, breathing in. Hands finding a prayer at the heart, arms releasing by the side, stepping the feet together. Tadasana, mountain pose. Now we're going to play with a rainbow warrior here. So just experimenting with the shape. On a breath in, sending the arms up to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, right foot takes a big step back, flexing the left toe. Similar to earlier when we were down on the ground. Back foot forward, rising up, high prayer. This time left foot steps back, swinging the arms back, flexing the front foot. Stepping it together, arms to the sky, breathing in. Again, right foot steps back, rainbow warrior. High prayer, feet together, arms rise. Last time here, left foot back, right toes flex. Drawing it back up, inhaling. Find your hands to your heart, exhaling. We'll take that into our sun salutations, arms rise with a breath in. Right foot takes a big step back, rainbow warrior. Feet together, arms to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands through the heart, folding over the legs. Right foot stepping back to a lunge, inhaling. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, shoulders over the wrists, straight legs or bent legs as you lower to the belly. Pointing the toes, rising cobra pose. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Right leg reaches high, inhale. Foot between the hands, exhale. Left foot forward, long flat back. Bowing over the legs, exhaling. Arms stretching to the sky, breath in. Hands connecting at the heart, breath out. Arms rising, high prayer. Left foot steps back, rainbow warrior. Feet together, arms to the sky, breathing in, bowing over the legs, Uttanasana. Left foot steps back, heart is forward. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. Straight or bent legs, elbows grazing the ribs. Toes point, heart lifts, cobra. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Left leg floats with a breath in. Foot between the hands with a breath out. Back foot forward, long spine. Melting over the legs, forward fold. Both arms rising, high prayer. Hands finding the heart, exhale. Arms up to the sky, breath in. Right foot stepping back, left toes flex. Step it together, arms to the sky. Diving forward with an exhale. Right foot stepping back, heart forward. Down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Plank pose, breathing in. You can add chaturanga or lowering to the earth. Up dog or cobra, heart rises. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Right foot up and away, breathing in. Foot between the hands, breathing out. Left foot forward, long spine. Folding over the legs, exhaling. Arms to the sky, high prayer. Hands find the heart, breath out. Arms reaching high, inhale. Left foot stepping back, right toes flexing. Feet together, arms rising high. Folding over the legs, exhale. Left foot back for a low lunge. Downward facing dog, breathing out. Plank pose, reaching out long. Chaturanga Dandasana, exhaling. Heart rising, big breath in. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot backing up, inhale. Stepping between the hands, breathing out. Right foot forward, long spine. Melting over the legs, head is heavy. Arms rising forward and up. Inhaling, hands finding the heart. Exhaling, arms to the sky, breath in. Right foot steps back, left toes flex. Feet together, rising up tall. Folding over the legs, exhaling. Right foot steps back, breath in. Plank pose, right away, lowering, exhaling. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Staying here, big breath in. Like a wave, big breath out. Knees soften, looking forward, inhaling. Stepping or hopping to your hands with your exhale. Long spine, breath in. Melting over the legs, exhaling. Arms reaching high, breath in. Left foot steps back, rainbow warrior. Feet together, arms reaching high. Bowing forward, standing forward fold. Left foot back, spine is long. Plank pose, take it right down, exhaling. Heart floating forward, breath in. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Right away, knees softening, looking forward, stepping or floating to the hands. Long spine, breath in. Folding on your breath out. Arms forward and up, high prayer. Hands to the heart, releasing Tadasana, exhaling. Utkatasana, sit your way back into your chair pose. Using that watery breath to soften the hard spaces. Exhale, bowing forward, head and hands to the earth. Long spine, breath in. Bending the knees, planting the palms, stepping or floating your way back, landing with bent elbows. Open heart, inhaling. Downward facing dog, exhaling. With a breath in, right leg floats back and up. Exhale, opening that hip, pointing the knee to the sky. Inhale, hips square, toes pointing down toward the earth. Pigeon pose, right shin drawing forward behind the wrists. Back toes point. Coming up onto the fingertips, long spine, like a big wave, letting the upper body melt over the right leg. Inhale, rolling back up through the spine. Exhale, waving out over the right leg. One more time, rolling up. Breathing in, melting over the leg. Breathing out. Inhale, rolling back up to a long spine. Palms plant, left toes tuck. Three-leg dog, right leg reaching back and up. Right foot between the hands on your exhale. Back heel down. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2 pose. Flipping the palms for your peaceful. Right arm high. Hands cartwheeling down, stepping right back through your vinyasa. Exhaling to lower. Rising, open heart. Down dog. Breathing out. Left leg reaching high with an inhale. Exhale, a moment to open through that left hip. Breathing in, squaring the hips, toes pointing down toward the earth. Pigeon pose, left shin drawing forward. Right toes point, hips releasing, fingertips to the mat. Breathing in, heart opening. Breathing out like a big wave, rolling forward. Inhale from the belly, rising up through the crown of the head. Exhaling to release. One more time, big breath in to lift. Big breath out, softening. Inhale, rising back up. Planting the palms, right toes tuck. Three-leg dog, send the left foot up and back. Left foot between the hands. Exhaling. Back heel down, warrior 2, up and around. Peaceful warrior, left arm to the sky. Hands circling down, stepping back through your plank. Lowering, rising breath in. Down dog on your breath out. Right leg high, inhaling, opening that hip. Exhaling. Squaring the hips, stretching the leg, breath in. Pigeon pose, shin forward, extending the back leg. Up onto the fingertips, open heart, breath in. One big wave, releasing over the right leg. Rolling back up, long spine. Palms plant, left toes tuck, three-leg dog, send it back and up. Foot between the hands on your exhale. Back heel down, up and around, warrior 2. Right away, lengthening the right leg. Inhaling. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hip crease deepens. Right hand to the shin. Left arm to the sky. Filling up with breath. Releasing that breath. With an exhale, right knee bend, shifting towards side angle. Elbow to the thigh, left arm long over the ear. Feeling the spiral of the bottom ribs up toward the top ribs. One more inhale here. Left hand to left hip. Right fingers to the earth in front of you, shifting onto the right foot for your half moon pose. Heart spiraling up toward the left fingertips. Maybe the eyes start to follow. Left hand down, big step back for a lunge. Inhaling, plank it out, take it through your flow. Exhaling, breath in, and breath out. Left leg high, hips are square, breathing in, opening that left hip, breathing out. Squaring the hips, stretching the left leg. Inhale, shin shifts forward between or behind the wrists. Breathing in, heart lifts. Exhaling, releasing over the left shin. Rolling back up, breathing in, palms plant, right toes tuck, three-leg dog, send it up and back. Foot between the hands, exhaling, back heel down, warrior 2, up and around. Left leg lengthening, breathing in. Maybe shortening the stance as you shift into triangle pose. Heart floating up toward the top fingertips. One more inhale. Left knee bends. Left elbow finds the left thigh. Right arm reaching long over the ear. Observing the breath as it flows in and out. Right hand to right hip, left fingers to the earth. Ardha Chandrasana, back leg floats, right arm to the sky. Finding again that spiraling motion, left ribs up into the right ribs. Breathing in. Right hand down, soft step back to your lunge. Inhaling. Plank, right big chaturanga. Exhaling. Breathing in. Breathing out. Same beginning, right foot floats back and up. Exhale, opening the hip. Take one more big breath in here. You can stay here or flip your dog. Right toes to the mat, right arm reaching to the sky. If you flip the dog, right hand down, right leg reaching back and up. Pigeon pose, shifting the right shin forward, tucking the back toes. Coming up onto the fingertips, one big inhale here. Exhaling, releasing over the leg. Inhale, rolling up, long spine. Hands to the mat, left toes tuck, three-leg dog. Breathing in. Foot forward, warrior two. Up and around. Peaceful warrior, right arm high. Your side angle, either elbow coming to the thigh or fingertips can melt down to the mat. If the hips and the inner thighs are ready for it. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Left hand, left hip, right fingers out in front of you, half moon pose. Just one breath to float here. Big step back to peaceful. Left foot lands softly, right arm to the sky. Hands circle down around the right foot. Left foot forward, long spine, breathing in. Folding over the legs, breathing out. Both arms stretching to the sky. Inhaling. Hands finding the heart. Exhaling. Moving to a figure four. Right leg lifts toward the chest. Rotating out and taking the right ankle, crossing it above the left inner thigh. Hands finding a prayer at the heart. As you exhale, hips reaching back, heart reaching forward. Feeling the heart puffing up into the thumbs. Option one, you can stay here. Option two is a forward fold. Left leg lengthening, hands releasing to the earth or to blocks, and the head melting off of the neck. Feel free to stay right where you are. If you want to start to play with an arm balance, looking forward, bending the left knee. Hands coming down out in front of your shoulders. Right toes wrapping around your left upper arm. Weight continues to shift forward, forward, forward as the elbows continue to bend. And maybe that back foot finds a moment to float toward the bum. Wherever you are, coming back to that figure four, hands finding the heart. Tadasana, feet together, arms releasing. Sweeping it up on your breath in, melting over the legs, breathing out. Long spine, breath in, knees bend, hands plant, stepping or floating your way through vinyasa. Last round like this, left foot up and back with a breath in. Hip opens with a breath out. Staying here in this opening for one big inhale. Staying where you are or flipping the dog, left toes down, opening the front of the body to the sky. Three-leg dog, left hand down, left leg floats. Big step forward, warrior two. Seal it down, windmill the arms. Peaceful left arm to the sky. Side angle, left elbow to the thigh or fingertips to the mat. Where can the softness of your breath penetrate those hard spaces within you? Right hand to right hip, left fingers out in front of you. One breath in half moon. Let it float for an inhale. Stepping back, peaceful, right foot down, left arm high. Circling the hands down, back foot steps forward, long spine. Folding over the legs, exhaling. Arms to the sky, big breath in. Hands connecting at the heart. Breath out. Left leg floats toward the heart. Moving into your figure four, left ankle crosses over the right knee. Softening the hips down and back, like you're doing a chair pose on that right leg. Feel free to stay here playing with the balance, opening the left outer hip, or you can take it into a forward fold, hands to blocks or hands to the earth. If you want to move toward arm balancing, glancing forward, bending the bottom knee, hands walking out in front of you so the weight shifts forward. Left toes wrapping around the right upper arm bones. Weight shifting forward, making a shelf with your elbows. Maybe that back foot finds a moment of flight. And wherever you are, bringing it back to that figure four, hands finding the heart. Feet together, Tadasana. Release the arms. Arms high, breath in. Melting forward, breath out. Long spine, breath in. Bending the knees, planting the palms, making your way through a vinyasa. Down dog. Exhaling. It's a few deep breaths here. Breathing in, knees start to soften. Looking forward, stepping or hopping to your hands. Long spine, breath in. Exhale to release. Arms sweeping to the sky. Inhaling, hands through the heart, and hands find the hips. Using the hands to keep the hips really stable, left foot takes a step back. Again, making sure that that left hip is spiraling forward. Weight is even between the front and the back foot. Hands can come behind you. You can find a prayer between your shoulder blades. Or if that's too much, you can find opposite elbows. It's up to you. Big breath in here. Hinging at the hips. Heart reaching forward. Reaching, long spine. And letting yourself release into pyramid pose. With a breath in, see if the spine can lengthen a little bit more. With a breath out, finding softness. One more time, spine is lengthening. Big breath in. Exhale, softening, releasing the head. Both hands to the earth. Big step back with the left foot for a low lunge. Both arms to the sky, high lunge. Finding a sense of softness in the hips. Shoulders stacked above the hips. With an exhale, hands to the heart. And it's a twist to the right, left elbow hooking over the right thigh. Your back knee can come down to the floor if you need extra support. Do what you need. Hands frame the right foot. Walk those hands to the left, turning the toes to face the side of the mat. Coming up onto the fingertips, long spine. Left hand to the floor under your nose. Right arm sweeps out and up toward the sky. Right hip drawing in toward the midline. Right hand down, releasing the head and the neck. Spinning to the front of the mat, low lunge, inhaling. Left foot sliding in behind the right foot, hips to the earth. Staying here or letting the left leg stretch out in front of you, creating more space in the hips. Arms floating high, breathing in. And it's a twist to the right. Right fingers down, left elbow, finding the knee. Feeling those waves of breath moving through you, never stopping. Exhaling, hands to the left, soft counter twist. Rolling up to sit, making your way out onto hands and knees. And maybe there's a hop back to a vinyasa, maybe it's a step, maybe it's a step right back to your downward facing dog. And it's a few deep breaths in your down dog. Knees softening, looking forward, stepping or floating to the top of the mat, long spine, deep forward fold. Arms to the sky, breathing in. Hands travel through the heart, landing on the hips. Right foot stepping back, seeing if you can keep the hips really square. Right hip rolling forward, weight even between the 2 feet. However you took the hands behind you on the first side, you can take that again here. Big breath in, spine lengthens. Drawing the hips back, heart forward, reaching, reaching, reaching. And letting the upper body soften. With a breath in, see if the spine can get a little bit longer. With a breath out, softening, releasing. Breathing in, making space, finding length. Exhale, releasing, softening into that space you created. With your next exhale, hands come down, framing the left foot. Right foot slides all the way back, finding your low lunge. Both arms reaching high, high lunge. A few deep breaths here, finding the softness in the knees, the softness in the pelvis. Both big toes grounding into the mat. Hands to the earth and taking a twist to the left. Big spiral, right ribs drawing up toward the left ribs. Breathing in. Hands come down, framing the left foot, and everything walks to the right, turning to face the side of the mat. Long spine, breathing in. Right hand under the nose, left arm out and up toward the sky. Weight is even between the 2 feet. Noticing if you're dumping your weight into one foot or the other. Left hand down, front of the mat, low lunge, breathing in. Right foot draws forward, knee behind the left ankle. Sitting into that space behind you, either keeping the right knee bent or lengthening the leg. Both arms stretching high, breathing in. And finding that twist, spiraling back, belly, heart, and eyes. Exhaling, hands to the right, soft counter twist. Rolling up to sit, crossing the ankles, making your way back through one final vinyasa, or stepping back to your down dog. One big breath in. And it's a child's pose as you breathe out. Letting the hips get really heavy here. Where can the softness of the breath start to release some of the tension, some of the hard or stuck places in the body or in your thoughts? Breathing in, hands crawling back to the heels, rolling up to a long spine. And making your way down onto your back. Feet planting right under the knees. Walking the heels in toward the hips so you can touch the fingers to the backs of the heels. Big breath in. With a breath out, feet and hands pressing down, hips sweeping up to the sky. Hands coming behind the back, interlacing the fingers, shoulder blades and upper arm bones drawing in to send the hips a little bit higher. Continuing to find those waves of breath. Releasing the fingertips, taking your time, rolling down onto the back. Feet stay grounded. There's a gentle sway of the knees from side to side. Back through center, there's going to be one more back bend. So you can repeat bridge pose, or if you're ready for a full wheel, hands next to the head, lengthening the arms. It's up to you. Setting yourself up. Make sure wherever you are that you can breathe fully. Inhaling. Exhaling to rise. Balls of the big toes grounding down. Making sure that the knees aren't winging off to the sides. If you're in full wheel, chin to the chest. If you're in bridge, releasing the hands, taking your time to melt down onto your back. Feet staying where they are. Again, there's a gentle sway of the knees side to side. And both knees melting over to the left side of the mat. Arms out wide in a T, palms facing the sky. Head turning to the right to release into a soft twist. Letting the breaths wash over you. Inhaling draws everything back through center. Knees to the right, head turning to the left. The exhale draws the left arm over to meet the right arm, curling into a right ball on your right side. And then taking your time, crawling up onto hands and knees. It's a downward facing dog, and if you want to roll through one final vinyasa to make your way there, feel free. Otherwise, stepping back, energizing the body. Breathing in, right foot up and back. Pigeon pose. Right shin draws forward. Back toes point. Hips softening to the earth. Fingertips grounding down. Big lift of the spine. Breathing in. With an exhale, melting out onto the palms, onto the elbows. And this time you can really allow the upper body to soften in this pigeon pose. And allowing those waves of breath to wash over you, like the waves of the ocean. Letting the softness, that watery quality flow over you, flow through you. Releasing all the hard spaces, all the hard bits. Yeah, just like a river creating a canyon. It can take time. But the water keeps flowing. It keeps moving until it's worn that groove in the earth. Hands walking back, rolling back up, long spine. Left toes tucking, big step back, last downward facing dog. Shake it out a little bit if you need. Left leg backing up, breathing in. Moving to pigeon, left shin forward, right leg back. Breathing in, long open heart. Breathing out, letting yourself melt forward over the left leg. That's why we keep coming back, because over time, with practice, we start to wear away those tough bits, those hard bits. We start to create new grooves in ourselves, new habits, new ways of moving, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. But it takes time. Hands drawing back, rolling the spine up, long through the body. Left hip to the earth, both legs circling around to the top of the mat. Give the legs a little shake out here, releasing the outer hips. Knees bending, feet to the floor, heels pretty close in towards your bum. Drawing the knees open, soles of the feet coming to touch. Holding on to the ankles, long spine, breathing in. And with an exhale, diving out over the legs. Letting the upper body eventually start to round. Baddha Konasana. in rolls the spine back up tall. And letting yourself come to a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. Maybe sitting crossed legs, maybe sitting up on the heels. Hands releasing to the knees, letting the eyes close. And bringing your attention to those waves of breath as they move through you. Letting the breath soften everything, all those hard edges. And as you're ready, you can make your way down onto your back for Savasana. start to deepen. The fingers and the toes can find some movement. Knees bending, feet stepping onto the earth. Rolling yourself softly onto your right side. Coming up to sit. Eyes can stay closed or soft. Hands connecting in a prayer in front of the heart. And to seal our practice, we'll chant Om together. Breathing in. Thank you for your energy, for your practice today. Namaste.